Welcome to episode 13 of the AFA Gen Next podcast. My name is Ashley Mahadia, National Chair of the Gen Next Community of Practice and your host for this episode. A big thank you to the AFA for allowing us to host this podcast and to our supporting partner, Advice Intelligence, for powering this episode. Today, we're going to talk about the upcoming AFA conference and why you should be in attendance. Joining me are Patricia Garcia and Morgan Hewitt, Conference Chair and Deputy Conference Chair for the 2022 AFA Conference on the Gold Coast. Patricia and Morgan, welcome to the podcast and congratulations on being the conference chairs for the 2022 AFA Conference.
Thanks for having us, Ash. It's really exciting to, be on here and promote the conference because it's going to be the best year yet.
Yeah, thanks, Ashley. We're looking forward to it after a couple of years without face-to-face conferences. We're really excited to come back to the Gold Coast and see everyone and have an amazing conference.
Let's get into it. This year's theme is Thrive. How did that come about and what is the meaning behind it? Patricia, we'll start with you.
Yeah, so obviously we've been through tough many years. I know we keep saying this, but we're definitely turning the corner and the future's really bright for the advice industry. So we thought it was very pertinent to start the conference with a very upbeat and very inspiring theme, being Thrive. And that's because we want people to come out of it feeling really inspired, motivated to grow and, lead thriving businesses. The opportunities are really great for financial planning businesses at the moment, despite all the issues that we've gone through and all the heartaches, and we've come around the other side, and we've got really great opportunities ahead with less advisors is an issue, but that also means more opportunities for the ones that are left. So it should be a good few years for us to have really thriving businesses. So hence the Thrive theme.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I think we've been through a period of growth, development, a whole lot of learning over the past few years. And now it's just time to flourish. It's time to take everything what we've learned, how everyone's restructured, remodeled their advice businesses, the way that they're actually delivering and giving advice. And now it's time to thrive because, as Trish mentioned, with less advisors and more Australians need financial advice, there is no better time for us as a profession to thrive.
Thank you. You're both involved in creating the conference program. Can you give us an overview of the program and how it has been tailored to advisor needs, Morgan?
Yeah, sure. So originally we sent out a member feedback survey to all of our members and just asking for, what content did they want to see, what areas of advice strategy did they want to hear about, insurance, managed investments, technology, everything like that. So we really built the program around what advisors wanted to see. And additionally, we also saw the feedback from the last conference. So last conference, we had face-to-face. We used the AFA app, and each participant rated each session that they attended. So we also looked at, what rated well, what didn't rate well, what do people want to see. We've really tailored around that.
Patricia?
Yeah, and we have a committee that meets regularly to put together the conference. So, I've been on the board of the AFA for nearly 4 years now and volunteering for many years before that in the committees. And little did I know how much was involved in putting this together. I knew it was hard work, but it's even more than what you expect. So we meet regularly and, having myself and Morgan in the committee means that there's the perspective from the advisor coming into play. We then also go back to our committees and subcommittee members and get their feedback as well. And that's how we try to shape the content to make sure that it's meeting the target for what our advisors want and the rest of the industry. So, we want to make sure that it's really great and tailored to the current needs.
And Patricia, which sessions are you particularly excited to see at the conference?
So we got lots of exciting sessions, but the one that I'm really looking forward to is by Vin Jiang. And I've just seen him present quite a few years ago, and he was fantastic. The feedback from everyone was really great, really upbeat. So essentially, Vin has got a bit of background in magic, which seems unusual for a conference like ours. But essentially where he draws the different aspects of magic and how they link to psychology. And then also it's about how, you take psychology and deception and create and how you use that within your own business and personal lives in terms of enhancing your communication skills. And it's about like the art of performance. So there's a lot of things that we can take away from that and apply in business. So it isn't just about magic. The other session that I'm also looking forward to is with Major Martina Jewell. She actually grew up in the Byron Bay region and joined the army at the age of 17. She then went on to serve on 5 missions and earned 9 military and war medals. And she's actually the only Australian to have received 2 Republic of Lebanon war medals for her acts of bravery. So I think her story is going to be really inspiring. And also, again, in terms of how it relates back to us and what we do, I think it's the lessons around leadership skills and tough decisions that she had to make in her period and in the army.
Yeah, for me in particular, I'm really excited to see Sam Bloom. And I'm not sure if any of you have actually seen her movie, but it's so coincidental that she's coming to speak because I only watched her movie probably 6 months ago and I howled like a little baby. She's a really inspirational human. So it just shows her life. I was really able to connect with it in a few different ways of, how she went through a really dark place. So we've all been to Thailand, but in 2013, she went to Thailand. She actually fell. One of the balconies actually eroded. She fell a few stories down and she ended up in a wheelchair. And it just shows that she was in a really dark place. And watch the movie. I don't want to spoil it, but it just shows, how you can overcome adversity. So since then, she's won 2 Oceania Paracanoe Championships, 2 times World Parasurfing Champions. So she's a really incredible and inspirational human. And I would strongly suggest that you watch the movie before you see her at conference, because then it will just make it so much more special when she's actually presenting. And the other one is Tim Jarvis. He's a pretty incredible human. I connect a fair bit to him because he's in environmental science. My first degree was environmental science quite a while ago. But he holds records for the fastest unsupported journey to the South Pole. So for decades, he's done a lot of environmental science work down on the South Pole. He's an explorer, author, adventurer, environmentalist, just a really passionate and inspirational man. So there's a lot of content, a lot of things that we can take away from these sessions.
This year's conference has a lot of breakout sessions. Why is it so important to have breakout sessions at the conference? Morgan?
Yeah, I would actually say because it caters to everyone. So, through my professional development over the years, the sessions that were more relevant to me in my younger years really don't appeal to me now. So there's content really for everyone. So, back when I was, a junior advisor, I was so fixated on I need to learn absolutely every strategy that I could. So for me, those breakout sessions are really built around strategy. For me now, it's more practice management. It's more about technology. How can I make my business more efficient? So I think it actually serves purpose for everyone. And you can really focus on points that you want to develop yourself in. So whatever area that you're working on, in particular, there's something for everyone. So if you want to upskill in a certain area, there's definitely content for you there.
I'd add to that as well. I think the great thing about the streams is that that's when we can dive deep into really specific topics, with our keynote speakers. We try to make sure that they're inspiring sessions, they're sessions that everyone can get a lot out of, and also including things like updates from our regulators, whereas our breakout sessions can be really tailored to specific areas. So it really helps people, sort of find, sort of tune into what they really, what's really important for them at that point in time. So things like really specific advice strategies, or like what Morgan said, different types of technologies that you might be looking into that you could explore further. And then not only that, catering for other people that are joining us, like support staff and paraplanners and students. So there's a session for everybody, essentially.
Of course, the AFA conference is known for its social events. Can you tell us a little bit more, Patricia, about what's planned over the 3 days?
That's the exciting part. So obviously, part of why we go to conferences is to connect with our peers and network, and the social events are a very important part of attending the conference. So we've got lots of things happening. We start the conference with, we usually have a golf tournament where on the Gold Coast, so we're going to have that again. We've also got a first time session. So I'm not sure if everyone is really aware of that. So if it's your first conference, there's the first time session to connect to with other people, so that we know how daunting it can be to attend your first conference. So definitely encourage people to attend that if they come to the AFA conference for the first time, or if they just want to meet more people and connect with more people. Then we've got the Hydrate, the AFA community, which is usually on the Thursday night. And then we've got the welcome reception this year. Our welcome reception is going to have a theme, being Havana theme. So exciting little ways that we can eventually make that more dress ups and have things to make it exciting on the night. And then we've got the awards and gala dinner on the closing night on Friday. And that's usually a really fun and great night, where we recognize some great advisors, but then also have a really beautiful dinner and a big party afterwards. So it's a great way to finish the conference.
Morgan, you live on the Gold Coast. Why is the Gold Coast such a great place to host the 2022 AFA conference?
Oh, Ash, it's the Gold Coast, full stop. No. For me, the Gold Coast kind of has it all. You've got, the theme parks, the waterfalls, the beaches, the glitter, and all the bars and things like that. But I think the Gold Coast, the venue in particular, it's like a secluded little pocket. And I think it's a really good opportunity for people to disconnect and, take a holiday, disconnect from work, the practices, business, and really take the time to work on yourself, your own professional development and also your business. I find the most growth that I have usually is when I take a step away. I'm on the outside looking in, and I can only do that when I take time away from the practice. So in particular, it's so good to come to the Gold Coast, come and connect with your peers and your colleagues, and actually work on yourself and your business and have that outside looking perspective.
And I would add to that one more thing, actually. I think, especially for people coming from around the country, obviously there's an opportunity to extend and stay a few days and have a little holiday. But also, if not that, potentially bringing your team along and doing, team offsites. They're quite common these days, and people put a lot of value on those, where you take your team out of the office and work on things that you've been meaning to work on. So I think, the Gold Coast is a great place to do that. And also at the end of a conference, what a better time to sit down and work on the things that you want to work on, because you're inspired and you've got a lot of takeaways that you want to implement. And part of the issue of that advisors that everybody faces when they go to conferences is there's so much that you want to do, and then the actual doing of it doesn't always happen. So I think having that team offsite right after the conference at a beautiful place like the Gold Coast can make sure that you get that started, so that you actually implement a lot of things.
Very well said. We've got a record number of submissions this year for the different awards. I'd like you to tell me more about the awards this year at conference, but also the importance of those awards to recognize our peers. Tricia?
So we've got 2 awards. So I'll talk about the first one. I'll let Morgan talk about the second one. So the first award this year is the Advisor of the Year award. So the AFA's been running this award since 2003. And it's been proudly sponsored by Zurich the whole time. So we've had a great number of applications over the years and some great advisors recognised. So obviously what we're trying to do with the Advisor of the Year award is recognise somebody that shows great leadership, innovation, client-centric, professional excellence, and also, educational excellence, how they lead the profession and give and help us get a better reputation and improve the profession as a whole. So the Advisor of the Year award is definitely the best award you can probably win. So I definitely encourage you to apply for it. And even if it is just to set yourself up for success later, so you look through the criteria, get some feedback from the judges. If you become a finalist, it's a great opportunity to take advantage of and make sure that you also improve your business as a result. So we've had a lot of feedback from previous applicants that didn't even win, and some of them didn't even make finalists, and they said that it was a great experience because it made them really look into their business and it made them really improve their business. So you'd be better as a result of it, regardless of whether you become a finalist or not.
Yeah, in relation to the other one, I'll just first of all say these are like logies for financial advisors. It's that opportunity to shine. But the Female Excellence, I love this award. It's sponsored by TAL, so a big thank you to TAL for taking initiative in this space. We all know that there aren't enough female advisors in this space, so this award really promotes positive change, in the financial advice sector, and it also encourages more women to join the profession. I think that's really a big thing. It's something that encourages great advice, also encourages leadership in this space. Those who are creating the positive evolution of advice, giving back to the community, those who, are encouraging and promoting financial advice and financial literacy. And really just giving back to the community as well is a really big thing. So without, it's really important that we also recognise leaders in this space and give credit where it is due, because there are, a lot of great females that are doing some really great work with at least 60 applicants. And I know I easily know a good 20 of them, and they're all incredible women, and they all deserve recognition for, no matter what, even if they don't win, it's a really incredible award, and it's an evolving space.
We'll end with a personal question to both of you. What are you most looking forward to at the conference this year?
I think you could tell by the tone of my answer, but obviously on top of the great keynote speakers and the great content that we've put together, and it is actually going to be really great this year. I'm a betting woman, and I think it's going to be our best conference yet. So I'm really looking forward to it in terms of the content. The content is shaping up to be amazing, and it's around thriving, it's around practice management, it's about how to make our businesses better, it's about being inspired as leaders, and so content amazing, but also really looking forward to the social aspect and reconnecting with people face to face. It's been too long that I've seen a lot of the great people in our profession, so I'm really looking forward to that.
I am so rapt to actually see my advice community, and those who know me know that I've relied so heavily on my, on the advice community throughout the years, throughout my professional development, and they're so important to me. I would all consider them all friends, and haven't seen a lot of them in a long time. And I think the best thing about what's happened over the last few years, as well as it's made us closer together, we're no longer, 15,000 individuals, we're forming a nice little community, and it's going to be such a nice opportunity to spend 3 days with, a lot of my friends.
And if anyone is listening to us and they want to register for the conference, how do they do this?
Easy. So just go to the website, www.afaconference.com.au, and register by the website. And really, I encourage you to bring along your whole team with you. There's also tickets you can get to the social events standalone. So if you're coming with your husband or your wife or your partner, or children, or other people from your office that you might do an offsite with, they can come along to those as well.
Patricia and Morgan, it's been amazing having you on the podcast, and I really look forward to see you at the conference.
Likewise, Ashley.
Looking forward to seeing you again, Ash. Thanks.
We hope that you've enjoyed episode 13 of the AFA GenNext podcast. A big shout out to Patricia and Morgan. It's not too late to grab a ticket for the 2022 AFA conference on the Gold Coast. Thanks again to the AFA and Advice Intelligence. See you at conference.